Hello traders, this is Frank Paul from Forex Mentor speaking with you on Saturday, May 19th, 2012. Welcome to today's complimentary video presentation which we make available to members of the public every weekend, whether you're an FST member or not. And the occasion of our presentation here is to share with you a result that was shared with me from one of our loyal Fibonacci Swing Trader members, George Pitcher, who recently emailed me his detailed trade log for the 10-day period from April 26th to May 8th, which showed a cumulative net profit, get a load of this, of 1,018 pips with a win rate of 82% on a total of 17 trade attempts made during that period. Is that not absolutely astounding? 1,000 pips in 10 days. Absolutely remarkable. When George sent me his note, which in his typical low-key manner said, I made 1,000 pips in 10 days, yours truly, George, my first response was to email him back and say, sorry, I missed something here. Was that from the beginning of April, which would have still been absolutely fantastic? In other words, a 5-week period? No, it was 10 days from the last week of April to the first week of May. So we're not going to suggest to you that you should expect that result. This is pretty remarkable. George is one of our longer-term members. He's really been working hard at it for a long time. He's really helped us out, in fact, in a lot of ways with developing indicators for the MT4 platform, etc. So he's become quite a capable, very astute trader, and I think you'd find it hard to replicate this kind of result if you're new to the methodology. It's going to take you months of learning it and applying it and getting up to speed on it, getting it under your skin, so to speak. But the point here is that it can be done. I should mention too that as we sort of pick apart George's results here in just a moment, you should know that these results were achieved with the latest version of an EA tool, that is Expert Advisor tool for the MT4 platform, which is in development right now. My sense is that it's rapidly coming to completion. We've really wanted to stay with it for a long time, and we have done, working hard to ensure that it's performing to satisfaction with a beta testing panel that we've been working with and so on. So these trade results were in fact realized with the aid of the EA tool. However, you didn't need to use the EA tool here because the methodology is the same either way, whether you're applying it manually, so to speak, yourself, or you're working with our Expert Advisor tool, which we hope to make available to the public later in summer. Still want to get enough of a track record that we can publish which just lays to rest any questions about its reliability over time. So anyway, regardless, I'm sure you'll agree that's a fantastic result. Now, I just want you to be aware, people are skeptical these days because there's lots of highfalutin claims made out there on the internet, particularly when it comes to forex trading systems. So if there's any doubt in your mind as to whether the results that I'm going to show you in just a minute are real or if somebody is just making up a bunch of nonsense, let me tell you that each and every trade in George's tally corresponds specifically with a singular posted swing trade setup that we make available to members of the Fibonacci Swing Trader Daily Update service every day of the week. So you will see reference numbers, and these reference numbers are now in our archive area in our performance tracking database. So even if I didn't specifically execute on a trade setup, George did, and you can track that setup through right back to the day it was first posted, well ahead of the trade actually coming to fruition. So there's nothing made up here. This is all real stuff. And in fact, we're going to run through with our charts one of the 17 trade attempts that he's logged here. Now, if you'd like to grab a copy for yourself of George's trade log in question, it's in Excel format, feel free to email me, frank@forexmentor.com, and I'd be glad to send that to you. So let us now pull up George's email, and I've simply forwarded it to myself so that I could strip out all the email addresses here just in respect of George's privacy. Not quite true. It is shown at top here, but George indicates that he doesn't mind anyway, so I'm sure if you wanted to send him an email and ask him firsthand, he probably wouldn't mind. But please do respect people's privacy here. Okay, so here's the low-key email message. I mean, if it was me, I would be dancing on a chair or something. But anyway, George says in his typical low-key way, attached is the spreadsheet showing the results since using the parabolic SAR and the EA version 3.5. The first date is 4/26, that's April 26th, and the last date was May 8th, or 10 trading days. The PIP total is 1,018 with a win ratio of 82%. So let's just click open George's Excel summary here. And we can't quite see everything, so maybe what I'll do is just see if I can shrink this down a little bit. That's a bit better. Okay, so here we have it. There's a column to the left titled reference number. For example, the first one here, GBP CAD 04 2012. Those are reference numbers that we use in the FST daily update service for each and every setup that we post, whether it goes on to win, lose, or somewhere in between, trailed for a break-even stop, what have you. We can follow this thing through, and it's tracked that way in our performance tracking database, which you can get a copy of anytime at the Fibonacci Swing Trader public page. That's www.forexmentor.com/swing trader. So there's a reference number, and again, you could track, if you wanted to, every single one of these setups he's referring to with reference to the daily updates for the dates in question. The first one is April 20th, the last one is May 7th, and see for yourself whether the methodology worked on the charts in question. Okay, so there's nothing made up here. So George gives us an entry price, an entry time stamp, profit target, exit price, exit time, profit loss. So you can see he actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 winning trades in a row. And the column on the far right is the cumulative profit. So at the point that he had 9 winning trades, that was a cumulative net profit of 815 pips, which is remarkable. Then we had 2 stop triggered trades, 52 pips each, another 5 winners in a row, a third losing trade. So in 17 trade attempts over 10 trading days, 14 were winners, 3 were stopped out. Pretty remarkable. And again, this is using the EA tool. Now, our EA tool that we're working on is not a robot. Very important to understand that and to make the distinction, because a robot tries to do everything. Our EA tool does not. It represents kind of the best of both worlds, whereby we're relying on human judgment, specifically mine, to read momentum across multiple time frames, find a swing trade setup, and identify the parameters of it by way of 3 specific swing points, which we label A, B, and C. Where the EA tool comes in is alleviating the user of the need to wait around in real time looking for an execution signal. And so all you'll have to do with the EA tool, once it's ready, each day, see if we have a setup. If we have a setup, take 2 reference levels only, swing points A and B, input them into the EA tool, and thereafter it will trigger you into the trade whenever that might happen in completely automated fashion. You just key in 2 numbers and you're done. And it will manage the trade through to completion. So this is the latest version of the tool that George was working with. But again, please don't get hung up on the fact that, well, we don't have an EA tool ready to release right now. My results would be different. They would be, but they shouldn't be dramatically different because, again, the methodology for triggering into the trade is the same whether you're applying it manually yourself or within automated tool. It's the same trade entry rules regardless. So this is what George's recent trade log looks like. And if you add up all the numbers here in this column I, look at the top there, sum of I-14 to I-20, or actually, let me just double check that. That should be the total, the net pip total. Yeah, there you go, 1,018 pips. Absolutely phenomenal, and I'd just like to congratulate George for developing his trading skills to the point that he can achieve a result like this, which is just unsurpassable, really. Anyway, there we have it. What I'd like to do, instead of just bragging about this result, is I'd like to just reiterate the trading methodology kind of in a high-level summary perspective here. And so we're going to pick one of the more recent of the batch. We're not going to go all the way back to April, but we're going to look at a Euro-Yen trade here posted for members on May 7th. Okay, and so what this will allow us to do is just basically reiterate for you the trading methodology and see if we can follow George's application here, this particular winning trade for 110 pips. So let's do that. We're going to first pull up the daily update report from May 7th, and then we'll follow it through in our charts to completion.